Some places are forgotten for a reason, not because they are empty, but because something still lives there. It started as a simple trip, a break from the city, a few days away from noise, from stress, from everything. Daniel parked the car slowly near the old wooden cabin. "This is it," he said, looking around. "Peaceful, quiet, perfect." Ryan stepped out, stretching his arms. "Perfect," he laughed. "Bro, this place looks like a murder documentary waiting to happen." Emma stepped out next, her eyes slowly scanning the forest. Tall trees, dark shadows. Too quiet. "I don't like this place," she said softly. Daniel sighed. "Emma, you always say that," he replied. "It's just a cabin, nothing else." Sophia stepped out last. She didn't speak. She just looked at the cabin. Long. Focused. Almost familiar. "You've been here before?" Daniel asked casually. Sophia blinked, then shook her head. "No," she said quietly, "but it feels like I have." Silence. A cold wind passed through the trees. Ryan clapped his hands. "All right. Enough creepy vibes," he said, forcing a laugh. "Let's get inside before I start imagining ghosts." The cabin door creaked as Daniel pushed it open. The smell hit them immediately. Old wood. Dust. Moist air. "Damn," Ryan muttered. "This place hasn't been cleaned in years." Inside, the cabin was dark. Broken furniture. Old walls. And something else. Something heavy. Emma stepped inside slowly, her heart beating faster. "Do you feel that?" she whispered. Daniel frowned. "Feel what?" She hesitated. "I don't know," she said. "It just feels wrong." Ryan laughed. "You watch too many horror movies," he said. "Relax, it's just your imagination." But Sophia didn't laugh. She walked deeper inside, her fingers slowly brushing the walls, like she was searching for something. "Guys," she said quietly. They turned. "What?" Daniel asked. Sophia pointed toward the floor. "There's a basement, a wooden trapdoor. Old. Locked." Daniel walked closer. "Probably just storage," he said. "Nothing interesting." But Emma shook her head. "No," she whispered. "Don't open it." Ryan smirked. "Oh, come on. This is exactly why we should open it," he said. "Hidden basement? That's adventure." Daniel hesitated, then grabbed the handle. "Relax, it's just an old cabin," he said. He pulled. The door opened slowly. Darkness. Complete darkness. Cold air rushed out. Emma stepped back immediately. "No, no, close it," she said quickly. "I don't like this." But Ryan grabbed a flashlight. "Too late," he said with a grin. "Let's see what's down there." They walked down the stairs slowly, each step echoing, louder than it should. The air felt colder, heavier. Daniel turned on his phone light. "Stay close," he said. The basement was small. Stone walls, dirt floor, and in the center, something was lying there, wrapped in cloth. "What is that?" Emma whispered. Ryan stepped closer. Only one way to find out. He pulled the cloth away and froze. "A book," he said. "Old. Black. Covered in strange symbols. Not a normal book." Sophia stepped forward slowly, her eyes locked on it. "That's not just a book," she whispered. Daniel frowned. "What do you mean?" Sophia's voice dropped. "It's something you're not supposed to read." Ryan laughed again. "Oh, great. Cursed book cliché," he said, picking it up. "Let's see what kind of horror story we're dealing with." "Put it down." Emma shouted suddenly. Everyone froze, her voice shaking. "Don't touch it," she said, stepping back. "Please, just leave it." Ryan looked at her. "Relax," he said. "It's just an old book." He opened it. The pages were filled with symbols, strange drawings, faces twisted in pain, bodies torn apart. "What the hell?" Daniel muttered. Sophia whispered. "Close it." Ryan smirked. "Or," he said slowly, "we read it." Silence. Emma shook her head violently. "No, no, don't." But Ryan started reading. The words didn't sound like any language. Not English. Not anything human. Something ancient. Something wrong. The air changed. Suddenly, the temperature dropped. The lights flickered. The walls seemed to breathe. Ryan, stop, Daniel said, his voice uneasy now. But Ryan didn't stop. His voice grew louder, more intense, like something was forcing him. Ryan, stop, Emma screamed. And suddenly, he stopped. Silence. Heavy. Dead. Ryan blinked. What just happened? He whispered. The basement felt colder. Much colder. Sophia slowly turned her head toward the darkness behind them. Her voice barely came out. We shouldn't have done that. Daniel frowned. Why? Sophia's eyes widened. Because in the darkness, something moved. Not fast. Not loud. Just enough to be seen. A shape. Standing. Watching. And then, it smiled. Something will come in. The basement felt different now. Heavier. Darker. Like the air itself was watching them. Daniel stepped forward slowly. Did you guys see that? He asked quietly. Ryan looked confused. See what? He said, still holding the book. Emma's voice trembled. There was something there. Sophia didn't speak. Her eyes were still fixed on the darkness. Close the book, she whispered. Ryan frowned. Guys, you're overreacting, he said, forcing a laugh. It's just a shadow, probably from the flashlight. But his voice wasn't confident anymore. Daniel stepped closer to him. Just close it, he said seriously. We've seen enough. Ryan rolled his eyes. Fine, he muttered. He slammed the book shut. And instantly, the room went silent. Too silent. Even their breathing felt loud. Emma slowly exhaled. Let's go upstairs, she said. I don't want to stay here anymore. No one argued. They turned and started walking up the stairs, step by step. But something was wrong. The sound, their footsteps, didn't echo anymore. It was like the basement was swallowing the sound. Ryan stopped. Wait, he said. Daniel turned. What now? Ryan frowned. Do you hear that? Silence. I don't hear anything, Daniel replied. Ryan's face slowly changed. That's the problem, he whispered. They reached the top. Daniel pushed the trapdoor shut quickly. Thud. Okay, he said, trying to sound calm. That was weird, but it's over. Let's just relax. Emma shook her head. No, she whispered. It's not over. Ryan laughed nervously. Come on, nothing followed us. And then, knock. Everyone froze. The sound came from below. The basement. Knock, knock. Emma grabbed Daniel's arm tightly. No, she whispered, terrified. No, no, no. Daniel swallowed. Someone's down there, he said, trying to stay logical. Maybe it's just the wood settling. Bang. The trapdoor shook. Ryan stepped back. Okay, that's not wood, he said. Another hit. Bang. Bang. Something was trying to get out. Move away. Daniel shouted. They all stepped back. The trapdoor stopped. Silence. Then slowly, the handle moved. On its own. Emma screamed. It's opening. Daniel grabbed a chair. Stay behind me, he shouted. The trapdoor creaked open. Slowly. Darkness rising from below. Cold air filling the room. And then, a hand. Pale. Thin. Grabbing the edge. Pulling itself up. Ryan's voice shook. That's not possible. The figure climbed out. Slowly. Unnaturally. And when it stood up, they saw the face. It was Ryan. Emma screamed. No. No. He's right there. They turned. The real Ryan was still behind them, breathing fast. Confused. What the hell is that? He shouted. The thing smiled. A twisted version of Ryan's smile. You opened the door. Its voice was broken, like multiple voices speaking at once. Ryan stepped back. No, no, that's not me, he whispered. The thing tilted its head. It is now. Before anyone could react, it moved. Fast. Too fast. It grabbed Ryan, dragged him forward. Help me, Ryan screamed. Daniel lunged forward. Let him go. But the thing turned its head, its eyes, completely black. And then, it smiled wider. Too late. A sickening sound filled the room. Crack. Ryan's scream cut off instantly. His body went limp. Emma collapsed to the floor. No, 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 she sobbed. Daniel stood frozen, his mind refusing to process what just happened. Sophia whispered, "It's begun." The thing dropped Ryan's body. Then slowly, it stood up again.
But now,
It didn't look like Ryan anymore. Its body twisted, bones cracking, skin stretching,
changing.
and then it became Emma.
Perfect.
Same face, same voice, except the smile. "Emma," Daniel whispered, shaking. "Stay away from it." But both Emmas stood there, one crying, one smiling, and they spoke together. "Which one is real?" Daniel's heart stopped. Emma screamed, "Daniel, please, it's me, don't listen to it." The other one smiled. "She's lying." Daniel stepped back, his mind breaking. "What do I do?" he whispered. Sophia spoke slowly. "Don't choose." Daniel looked at her. "What?" Sophia's voice trembled. "Because the moment you do..." A pause. "It wins." Silence filled the cabin. The entities smiled wider. And then, the lights went out. Darkness.
Complete.
And in that darkness, something moved. They don't go back. The cabin was silent. No light, no sound, only breathing. Heavy, uneven, terrified breathing. Daniel stood frozen. He couldn't see anything. "Emma," he whispered, his voice shaking. "Where are you?" No answer. "Ryan?" he called again. Nothing. Then, a soft giggle. From somewhere in the dark. Daniel's heart dropped. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice barely holding. Another giggle. Closer this time. Emma's voice suddenly cried out. "Daniel, help me." He turned instantly. "Emma," he shouted, moving blindly toward the sound. But before he could reach, something grabbed his arm.
Cold.
Too cold. Daniel screamed, "Let go of me." He struggled violently. "Daniel," a voice whispered right next to his ear.
Soft. Sweet.
"Why are you scared?" The grip tightened. Daniel's breathing became frantic. "Because you're not human," he shouted. The thing laughed.
Low.
"Broken. Neither are you, not anymore." Suddenly, the lights flickered back on. Daniel blinked. His vision adjusted. And what he saw made his soul freeze. Emma was on the floor, crawling. Her body twisted unnaturally. Her back bent in a way no human body could. "Emma?" Daniel whispered. She slowly lifted her head. Her face, smiling.
Wide.
Too wide. "Daniel," she said sweetly. "Come here." Daniel stepped back. No, that's not you." Emma laughed. "Then who am I?" Her voice changed.
Deeper.
Distorted. "Say it." Daniel shook his head violently. "No." Suddenly, Sophia screamed from the corner. "It's inside her." Daniel turned. Sophia stood near the wall, holding a broken piece of wood like a weapon, her hands shaking. "What do we do?" Daniel shouted. Sophia's eyes were filled with terror. "We don't let it spread." Emma's body jerked violently. Her head snapped sideways, bones cracking. Too late. She lunged forward.
Fast.
Too fast. Daniel barely dodged. "Run!" Sophia screamed. They ran. Through the cabin, pushing doors open. Heartbeats loud. Breathing broken. Behind them, Emma crawled on the walls, like something not human. Laughing. Screaming. Chasing. They reached the main room. Daniel slammed a chair against the door. "She'll break through," he shouted. Sophia shook her head. "That's not Emma anymore." A loud crash. The door shook. Emma's voice screamed, "Let me in." Daniel grabbed Sophia's shoulders. "Tell me what this is," he demanded. "You knew something. You recognized that book." Sophia hesitated, her breathing uneven. "I've read about it," she said slowly. "In old texts, forbidden rituals." Daniel's eyes widened. "What rituals?" Sophia whispered. "Summoning." Silence. Daniel stepped back. No, we didn't summon anything." Sophia shook her head. "Ryan did." A loud crack echoed. The door started breaking. "He read the words," she continued. "He called it, and it answered." Daniel's hands trembled. "Then we send it back," he shouted. "There has to be a way." Sophia's face went pale. There is. Daniel stepped closer. Then tell me. She looked at him, fear in her eyes. But it needs something. The door burst open. Emma rushed in, her body crawling, upside down, her face twisted. You can't send me back. She laughed. I like it here. Daniel grabbed a knife from the table. Stay back, he shouted. Emma stopped, then slowly stood upright. Her neck cracked back into place. You think that can stop me? She smiled wider. I'm already inside. Suddenly, she looked at Sophia. You know what it needs. Sophia froze. Don't, she whispered. Emma stepped closer. Say it. Sophia's voice broke. A soul. Silence. Daniel's heart dropped. What? Sophia looked at him. To close the door, one of us has to die. Daniel stepped back. No, we'll find another way. Emma laughed. There is no other way. A pause. One of you stays, and the rest can leave. Silence. Heavy.
Deadly.
Daniel looked at Sophia. Sophia looked at him, both realizing the truth. Only one of them would survive. Emma smiled. So, who will it be? The cabin stood silent, but inside, everything was falling apart. Daniel's hands trembled. His eyes moved between Sophia and Emma, or whatever she had become. This is insane, Daniel whispered, shaking his head. We're not killing anyone, we'll find another way. Emma laughed. A broken, echoing sound. There is no other way. She stepped closer. One soul for the door. A pause. Or all of you stay here forever. Sophia's breathing became uneven. Daniel, she said slowly. It's telling the truth. Daniel turned to her. No, he said immediately. No, you don't know that. Sophia shook her head. I do. Silence. Daniel stared at her. What are you saying? He whispered. Sophia looked down, her voice weak. I've seen this before. Daniel's heart dropped. What? Sophia's eyes filled with tears. This place, this cabin. A pause. It's not random. Emma smiled wider. Now she remembers. Daniel stepped closer. Sophia, what are you talking about? Sophia looked at him, and finally said, My family died here. Silence. Daniel froze. What? Sophia's voice trembled. Years ago, my parents, my brother. Tears rolled down her face. They came here, just like us. Emma laughed softly. And they opened the door. Sophia nodded slowly. They found the same book. Daniel's breathing became heavy. And, what happened? Sophia closed her eyes. They didn't leave. Silence. Daniel stepped back. No, he whispered. Sophia continued. One of them tried to sacrifice the other. But they couldn't do it. So it took all of them. The room felt colder. Heavier. Daniel looked at Emma. Or the thing wearing her face. You're lying, he said weakly. The thing smiled. Am I? It stepped closer. Or are you just afraid? Daniel clenched his fists. I'm not killing anyone, he said firmly. Emma tilted her head. Then you're all dying. Silence. Sophia stepped forward, her face pale. Daniel. He looked at her. No, he said immediately. Don't even think about it. Sophia's voice broke. If one of us has to die. Daniel shook his head violently. No. Then it should be me. Silence. Daniel felt like the ground disappeared beneath him. No, he whispered. No. We'll find another way. Sophia smiled weakly. You're a good person, Daniel. But this isn't about being good anymore. A pause. It's about ending it. Daniel grabbed her shoulders. I'm not letting you do this, he shouted. Sophia looked at him, her eyes filled with something strange. Not fear. Acceptance. You don't have a choice, she whispered. Before Daniel could react, she pushed him back. Hard. He fell to the ground. Sophia, he shouted. But she turned toward the thing. Slowly. If I do this. Her voice shook. You let him go. Emma smiled. Of course. A pause. I always keep my promises. Daniel tried to stand. No. Don't trust it, he screamed. Sophia looked back at him. One last time. I'm sorry. And then, she grabbed the knife. Daniel's eyes widened. No. But it was too late. Sophia drove the knife into herself. Blood spilled. Her body collapsed. The room went silent. Completely silent. Daniel froze. His mind shattered. "No," he whispered, crawling toward her. "No, no, no, wake up, please." But she didn't move. Didn't breathe. Nothing. Emma stood still, watching, smiling. Then suddenly, the ground shook. The walls cracked. A loud, unnatural sound filled the cabin, like something tearing apart. The basement door burst open. Darkness rising again. But this time, something was being pulled inside. Emma's body jerked violently. Her smile disappeared. Her face twisted in pain. "No!" she screamed. "You promised." But the darkness didn't stop. It dragged her, pulling her back, into the basement, into the void. Her screams echoed. Then, silence. Everything stopped. The cabin became still, dead quiet. Daniel sat there, holding Sophia's body, tears falling, shaking. "It's over," he whispered. But deep inside, something felt wrong, very wrong, because the air still felt heavy. The cabin was silent, too silent. Daniel sat on the floor, holding Sophia's lifeless body, his hands covered in blood, his mind empty. "It's over," he whispered again, his voice broken. "It's finally over." The air felt still now. No whispers, no movement, just death. Daniel slowly laid Sophia's body down, his hands shaking. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I couldn't save you." Tears rolled down his face. Minutes passed. Or maybe hours. Time didn't matter anymore. Daniel stood up slowly, his legs weak. "I need to leave," he muttered. "I need to get out of this place." He walked toward the door, each step heavy, painful. He reached the handle and paused. Something didn't feel right. He turned slowly. The cabin looked normal, broken, silent. But something was missing. The fear. It was gone. Too suddenly. Daniel frowned. "That doesn't make sense," he whispered. His heart started beating faster again. "No," he said slowly. "No, something's wrong. Because fear doesn't just disappear. Not like that. Never like that." He turned back toward the door and opened it. The forest outside was calm. Wind moving through trees. Normal. Too normal. Daniel stepped outside. Fresh air hit his face. He took a deep breath. "I made it," he whispered. "I survived." He started walking, away from the cabin, step by step. But after a few steps, he stopped, slowly, because something caught his attention. A sound. Behind him. A whisper. "Daniel." His body froze. "No," he whispered. Slowly, he turned around. The cabin stood there, silent. But the door was still open. Darkness inside. Watching. "Daniel." The voice came again. Softer. Familiar. "Don't leave." His breath broke. That voice was Sophia. "No," he said, shaking his head. "No, you're gone. I saw you. I'm here." The voice whispered gently. "I'm still here." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "Stop it," he whispered. "Stop playing with me." But the voice continued. "You left me." Daniel's heart shattered. "I didn't leave you," he cried. "You sacrificed yourself. You saved me." Silence. Then, "Did I?" The air became colder. Daniel stepped back. "What?" The voice changed. Slightly. "Or, did you let me die?" Daniel shook his head violently. "No." "That's not true." The voice grew darker. "You didn't stop me." A pause. "You didn't fight for me." Daniel's breathing became uneven. "That's not." "You chose to live." Silence. Daniel felt something inside him crack. "No," he whispered. "No, I didn't choose. Everyone chooses." The voice echoed. Daniel stepped back further. Fear rising again. "No, no, no." Suddenly, the door of the cabin slammed shut. Bang. Daniel flinched. And then, everything went quiet. Completely quiet. Daniel stood there, shaking. What is happening?" he whispered. Then, he felt it. Behind him. That same feeling. The one Emma felt. The one all of them felt. Something standing right behind him. Daniel's body went stiff. His breathing stopped. No, he whispered slowly. Don't turn around. His mind screamed. But his body didn't listen. Slowly, very slowly, he turned and saw himself standing there, smiling. Not normal. Too wide. Too empty. Daniel stepped back. No, he whispered. No, this isn't real. The other Daniel tilted its head. You survived. A pause. But I came with you. Daniel's heart stopped. No. You opened the door. Another step closer. And you never closed it. Daniel's legs gave up. He fell to the ground. No, please, he begged. I did everything. I survived. You didn't survive. Silence. The thing smiled wider. You were chosen. Daniel's mind broke. What? The thing leaned closer. The last one, a pause, is always the carrier. Daniel's breath stopped. No, you don't leave the evil behind. The thing whispered. You take it with you. Silence. Daniel's eyes filled with terror. Because now, he understood. Sophia didn't save him. She completed it. Weeks later, people in the city started reporting strange things. Mirrors, reflections, shadows. And a man, walking alone, quiet, normal. But sometimes, when people looked at him closely, they saw something else. Something behind his eyes. Something smiling. And at night, if you stand in front of a mirror and look long enough, you might see him too, standing behind you, watching, waiting, smiling.